Good evening, everyone. It is indeed an honor, a privilege, a blessing to be recognized with this honor by LEDA. Certainly, I think for many of us in the room, we count our blessings every day when we think about the opportunities that we've had and the opportunities that we can create for others. And this gathering, this convening, this community, and this family, as it were, is creating a space for LEDA scholars in this cohort, congratulations, cohort 12, and in the next cohort and the ones that follow to continue making a difference in society. I've got to thank my sis, Lourdes, for her kind words. I'm not always great with flattery and praise, but I appreciate the kindness because I think if I've given to others, it's because so many have contributed to me. And I thank my mom, because without her, I don't think this story would have ever emerged and evolved in the manner in which it has. Certainly, I grew up with many privileges, being the daughter of a physician, growing up in a middle-class community in Queens, but I also had the privilege of seeing that my life could change in a moment. My father's practice was in the South Bronx, and I spent many Saturdays in my childhood as a receptionist, filing at a time when you actually filed cards. And so my beginnings were about work. My beginnings were about this ethic that speaks to brilliance alone will not get you ahead, and that what you have is designed to be shared with others. After all, we can't take it with us. And as I had the good fortune of attending Harvard, I also had the unexpected experience of having to leave my studies, as Lourdes pointed out, in my freshman year, which gives me much in common with Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. I wish my bank account looked like theirs. But it taught me something very important. It taught me that life is a creation. Every moment we have is a creation. And I think one of the most powerful things that we create is a space for others to prevail, a space for others to show their gifts and talents, and the space for people around us to have what I would call the opportunity to demonstrate their excellence. I've been fortunate in that I was given opportunities. I'm a college dropout. I don't have my degree. And I was fortunate to have companies look beyond that to see the potential and to allow me to realize and fulfill it. And today, as head of global diversity, inclusion, and belonging at LinkedIn, I'm doubly blessed to work for a company that has as its mission to connect the world's professionals, to make them more productive and successful. But more importantly, a company that recognizes the importance that we're all in it together. If there are things that I could tell you about how we each contribute, I would tell you first, we open the doors. Gentleman recently posted on LinkedIn that hope is helping one person every day. I'm proud of LEDA because you help 100 people at a time, and they make a difference in this world, each and every one of them. And that difference doesn't come in a future that we're expecting. That difference comes today because they give hope to others. They help each other. They help a community that often struggles to provide resources. They are the beacons and the role models that illuminate the streets they walk on. They're the ones who point the way for the young children that they influence, whether brothers and sisters or cousins or neighbors. And if there's something really important, and I try to share this with everyone that I come in contact through my work in diversity and inclusion, it's this context for community and this context for family, which is so powerful. I'm fluent in Spanish. I consider it my first language. And in the Spanish language, there is no other word for family than familia. There aren't relatives or distant relations. And in fact, If you're Latino, you probably know that family are a lot of people you're related to, and you have no idea how you're related to them because they're not actually part of your bloodline. But it's the idea of caring for another. It's the idea of providing for others and sharing with others and being generous. And I am so proud of the people in this room for your own generosity, for not only making the time to recognize the LEDA scholars that are here this evening and the work of LEDA in our society, but for recognizing that each of you make that difference in creating a bridge for the future. In fact, I would say everyone in this room is a dreamer. And while we talk about it in political overtones, there is a reality, the reality of what it looks like for a young person who has a dream or an aspiration and is surrounded by people who care enough to create the room for them to pursue an education that is the stepping stone to possibility, the possibility of a career, whether in law or in the corporate world or in the technical world. Certainly, what we recognize is that at LEDA, we're making a difference for each and every individual who steps forward. I'm all about the power of a community, not only to open doors, but to reach and extend a hand. And I'm all about the fact that our communities benefit from the many talents that we get to see our young LEDA scholars bring, not only to our community and to our society, but to our companies. I am a diehard capitalist. I like working for a business that makes money. And I like working for companies that win. And you can only win when you have the best talent. You can only win when that talent experiences the possibility of creating new things, whether it's entrepreneurial or innovation or a sense that the future is ours to build, not just live into. And so I thank LEDA for this privilege and this recognition. I'm humbled by it because I'm not quite sure I've done all that much, and maybe it's because I feel there's still so much work to be done. But I'm also very fortunate to know that I don't travel this road alone. I know that I've got 100 scholars in this cohort and the one that follows, and each of you in this room with a belief that we can be better together, that we can make a difference for each other, and that we can help those who don't have, because what they bring is far greater than the dollars we contribute. What they bring is brilliance, and they're the beacon for our future. Thank you very much. Hi, William. Great to meet you. Hi, Sarah. Great to meet you.
Rosanna, it is with our great pleasure, and on behalf of Leadership Enterprise for Diverse America, that we present you with this plaque in recognition of all your efforts in diversity and inclusion.